Hi, my name is Brandy Moore, and I'm here to give you my attending project again, where we're looking at Luke 4:14 through 30. And we are going to look at some out of the box things. So you see here, I've drawn a circle with some different things that we're going to talk about. We're going to look at the words, music, movies, TV, and even some biblical references. So the central image that we have is Jesus teaching in the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and he's talking about the prophet Isaiah's scroll, and he's teaching, and he talks about even some examples of Elijah and Elisha and how they were sent to actually save people that were not Jews, and it insulted the people of the synagogue. And so they were enraged and they were upset, and they decided to try and throw him off the brow of the hill where the city was built. But Jesus walks away. And so some out of the box things that I think about were some words. Jesus had to be brave. He had to be confident. He had to be daring. But he also had to expect it. Jesus was brave because he said it, of course. He had to be confident in his sayings and what he was talking about it, because he sat down after he read the scroll. And he also had to be daring, because that has to be something different when you're actually expecting people to be not necessarily accepting of your words. And so you had to be daring to actually put that out there like that. But he expected it, because he said earlier that even a prophet is not accepted even in his own hometown. And then I think about the music that he had in his head as the people were probably coming against him and rebuking him. He's just saying, don't worry, be happy. And the people, of course, they have in their heads the Jaws theme song from the movie. And they're intense, and as Jesus is teaching, and the intensity grows and grows and grows, just like the Jaws theme song. But also you look at one song that could possibly bring the two together, in Fighting the Power. It's an intense song, but at the same time there's a message behind it. And Jesus is just like that song. Jesus is fighting the power. He's fighting against the opposition that's coming against him, but he's also fighting for a power that empowers us. He's fighting with the power, and he's fighting against the power. And so another example will be just like on the TV show Scandal. On Scandal, we have Millie, who is actually fighting against, they called a bill for discretionary funding for the Planned Parenthood. And Millie is fighting against it so it can stay intact, because it's a choice for women. And so she stands on the Senate floor for 16 hours listing things that it keeps intact, the actual bill. And people are enraged because it's Christmas Eve. Nobody wants to stay on the Senate floor for 16 hours listening to her stand for her opinion. Nobody wanted that. Nobody. So it's just like Jesus. Jesus standing there teaching, but nobody wanted to hear the truth that was being brought forth. And so Jesus is standing there, and he has people on every side, just like in the movie Despicable Me 2, where the minions and Gru are going to try and save Lucy at El Macho's house, and the purple minions on each side. And they're ready to kill him. They're excited to kill him. Just like Shrek 2. Shrek 2, the Fiona and Shrek, they're coming to meet the parents for the first time. They drop in this carriage, and the doves are flying everywhere, and they're like, this is it. And they pop out, and whoa. It's ogres. It's not what they expected. Just like the synagogue people, they were not expecting Jesus to give this type of truths. They were not expecting that. They were expecting the uplifting and be happy when they left the synagogue, but no, they were ready to kill him because he insulted them. But just like in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, Jesus is just like Lord Beckett when the Black Pearl and the Flying Dutchman are on each side and they're firing against him, and he can do nothing but just walk. Lord Beckett walks down the steps so gracefully and calmly, and all this debris is flying up, and there's stuff blowing up in his face, but nothing touches him. Nothing. Not a scratch, not a wound, nothing. It's just like in the biblical reference for Daniel when he's in the lion's den in Daniel 6, where he puts in the lion den, but God empowers him so much that he shuts the mouths of the lion. God shuts the mouths of the lion closed, and Daniel comes out of the den without a wound. Just like in Daniel 3. Daniel 3, we're talking about the 3 Hebrew boys where they were thrown and the fire and the furnace. And it was up to the power for 7 times its power. But yet God saved them and empowered them. They had on flammable clothes, all kind of stuff that could be thrown into fire and caught on fire. But yet God saved them. That's a great empowerment right there. To be filled with the Spirit that much that God empowers you so that not even a smell of smoke is on your clothes. That's power. And that's an encouragement to us that even in the midst of opposition coming our way, that we are empowered. God is empowering us just like he empowered Jesus in verse 30 to just walk away in the midst of people trying to kill him. We have to be encouraged, and we have to stay in the Word, and we have to stay in the Spirit of God. It's important. Jesus thought it important, and so should we. I look forward to talking to you guys more about this verse. Have a blessed one.